Hello and welcome back to another episode of Life in the Woods Renaissance. After yesterday's episode that was not here, that didn't happen here, that didn't happen in my single player world, that happened on the server. We're back here in my single player world. I'm still not done with this. I promised I would finish this and I will see this through. I will. Just, I need some time, I guess. Not much has happened here, if anything, really. I did discover that there is something in this pack that is actually a barrel. It's a gravestone, but it's a barrel. It's weird from the backside, but you can rotate it, so that should be fine. And I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna use these. They're a little bit too small. They look small, at least. I guess, I mean, they're like 1 block tall, so they're a meter tall, and they're a meter wide as well, a bit more actually. But they still look tiny in the context of Minecraft, I guess, with everything being as big as it is. But the plan is going to be, instead of these weird monstrosities, we'll use these barrels, and yeah. Unfortunately, you can't place them sideways. They can only stand up like that. I wish you could like lie them on the side. Like, yeah, that would be sweet. That would be really sweet. But I guess standing up barrels is, you know, that's going to be a compromise we need to make. They're reasonably cheap too. They're just cobblestone in a cross shape, I think, or in a T shape. I don't remember now. A T shape. That's what it was. T shape. All right. So we can definitely do that. We can probably make enough to fill this entire warehouse with barrels, and I think that's going to be good. I need to figure out some like shelving stuff, I guess, because just one row is not going to look good. I'll probably have like a row of barrels and then like slabs, and then another barrel, slabs, another barrel, row, I guess. So 3 rows, 6 blocks. Is that right? So barrel, slab, barrel, up to here. I think that's going to be fine. And maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it like along the wall, the shelves, like not horizontally, vertically, I guess. And then just have a little bit of space here in the entryway, and then have like a row of thing, and then like a double row of shelves, like with the barrels back to back, basically. So there would be shelf, and we maybe leave 3 blocks gap. Let's plan this out. Shelf, shelf. 3 blocks. Oh, let's do it from the other side, I guess, so that you can see. I don't know how wide this is. I didn't think this through yet. 1, 2, 3 gap, shelf, shelf, and then 4 block gap in the middle. Do I like that? I think I'll have to like that, because I can't really make it any. I mean, we could not have this, and then have one here. But there's no middle here, because is this even? Did I build this even? How many blocks is that? Is that 4 blocks? Let's count it out, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It is even. I thought so. Yeah, this looks centered. All right, so yeah, no, we can't really do that. I mean, you could do it like this, maybe. So that would be like shelf, 3 block gap, shelf, 2 block gap, shelf, shelf, 2 block gap, shelf. I'm not sure if I like that or not. So it's either going to be this or the double shelves here, and then nothing in the middle, and just a 4 block gap. I'll have to like mock it up a bit to see how it feels in the room here, and that like this maybe even go back a few more blocks. I mean, this is still going to be a lot of blocks and a lot of barrels, a lot of cobblestone I will need for that. I should have a bunch stored up, even right here. Like I did dig a bunch of this quartzite stuff with a non-silk touch pick, so I should have a decent amount of copper, I think. And it's not super expensive. I mean, it's 5 per barrel, and it's kind of tedious because you can't, like, the crafting recipe is you need to cycle through them, basically. You make the cross one, and then you craft a cross one into this one, into this one, into this one, into this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and the last one, the one that I want, is the barrel, and I don't think there's another way to get there. So yeah,
I didn't even know. Like, I knew there were gravestones, but I didn't even know there was a gravestone mod because I've never died. I've never died in this in these 115. Well, this is the 116th episode. I have not died a single time, so I didn't even know there's if you hit M, there's a gravestone thing, and you can select what you want, and there's the barrel. I accidentally discovered that basically, which is weird, but yeah. I didn't know there was a gravestone mod. I kind of assumed there was, but I didn't really question or think about it. I don't know. Man. So, I think we'll start with the shelving today because I don't have anything else planned building wise. There's some stuff to talk about. One topic is politically again, so I'm kind of sorry about it, but I feel like I have to say something about this. It's been a few days, so everyone, like, this is not breaking news or anything, but Michael Flynn, the security advisor of the Trump administration, was forced to resign. I don't know when it was, actually, a few days ago, because of a phone call to, was it an ambassador? I don't know, a Russian official, regarding some sanctions that Obama. What do we do with sanctions? What's the verb I'm looking for? Whatever. It was about the sanctions regarding the hack of the vote and all that kind of stuff, the influence on the election, and apparently Flynn talked to Russia and told them it's gonna be fine, that Trump, isn't mad, which makes sense because they made him win, so obviously he doesn't have a problem with that. But what was interesting about that, well, I mean, it for once it's interesting that he was forced to resign. They didn't lie their way out of this. They didn't just ignore it, which I guess is a good sign in a way. There's a limit. There's stuff that they can't and they don't tolerate. It still took a bit too long because apparently the administration was aware of that for a little while, and there's proof because the phone call, like these official phone calls are wiretapped, so there's a recording. So there was probably just no way for them to lie their way out of it, so they had to cut them loose. But what's interesting about that is that back in November 8th, I think it was actually the election night. Right, that was 8th, I'm pretty sure. There was an Austrian delegation of the Austrian Freedom Party, the right-wing populists. Let's start. I'm not doing anything. I'll get right back to my story here. It's not really a story, it's just news, basically. Not new news, but old news. That's a weird way to say it, I guess, but whatever. Do I not have any copper? I could have sworn I had like a bunch of copper in one of these bags. Did I put it in the chest? No, that's R, non-copper. R is silk touched. It's useless. Do I really not have any more copper here? That's crazy. That really is crazy. I can't even make that many. What I'm wondering now is, could the easy crafting table do that for me? Or the automatic one? The automatic one maybe not, because this is kind of tedious. You have to... Well, I can shift click, but... It's kind of annoying because my inventory is full. That's the main reason why it's annoying. But yeah, this is slightly annoying. Because it's all the way through. And I keep picking up the stupid... these 2 blocks. There we go. Oh, now that would have stacked anyway. What do we make the shelves out of? Dark oak? Probably, right? Yeah, let's do dark oak. Do I do straight up slabs? Yeah, it's smarter to do slabs than it is to do carpenter's blocks. Yeah, definitely. I don't know why I'm questioning that, because one block equals 2 slabs, so slabs are cheaper. There's no benefit in using carpenter's blocks, and if I can make slabs, there's no reason not to use the slabs that are provided by the game. but a core game without a mod. All right. So back in November, I don't remember how exactly. I think it was like a, I don't know, a senator, or I don't know, some Republican politician, some elected official invited a delegation of the Freedom Party, the right-wing populist, whatever you want to call them, extreme right-wing, whatever. You know, the kind of. Come on. All right. How many blocks did I say? 6? Another question is, do I store some on the floor? I think I did that in my original mock-up idea here. Let's see if we do it like this. Does that make sense? Does that look right? I can't pick up anything. My inventory is such a mess. Let's fix that. So yeah, I think it was in North Carolina, maybe a senator or some kind of Republican official invited them over, and I don't really know the reason why, but whatever, he did. So there wasn't delegation. It included the leader, HC Strache, and the head of the Styrian part of the party was there, and some other, like one EU official as well, and maybe, I don't know, it was some, like, whatever, it was a group of Freedom Party people there. I'm struggling. I'm thinking about this and trying to tell the story. So they were invited to Charlotte, I think. Is Charlotte North Carolina? Yeah. That sounds right now. I feel like that validates my North Carolina thing. Charlotte. That sounds like that's what I read. It's been a while. I didn't really check this again. I should have maybe. I feel like I felt like I remembered enough of it to tell it, but maybe not. So they were invited and they flew over there, and whatever they just, I don't know, talked, and I don't know what politicians do when they meet like that. It's weird because it's not like they're an opposition party. They're not in like, they don't have any. They're not representative of anything. It's just, I don't know. It's weird to me, but whatever. So they visited, and they ended up spending the election night in Trump Tower, and I think that's important, because I don't think you could just get into Trump Tower on election day. Like, I don't think, yeah, someone with some kind of power must have invited them, or been okay with them being there at least. And that is fact. There are photos of them in Trump Tower, like on Facebook and stuff. I've seen pictures, so they definitely were there. So that part of the story is definitely true. And then that was that. Like, there wasn't anything. They were just happy and celebrating because they feel like that. That's Trump is basically the equivalent of right-wing populism in Europe. So him winning the election obviously made them very happy. Does that not pop off? That's annoying. I guess I have to place them like that. I'm not sure if I like this. And I'm not sure about how I'm gonna place the barrels, because I don't like, just filling up the shelves is gonna look weird, I think. I don't know, let's just mock this up a bit more before we start filling it in. I hate that. That's really annoying. Is there, can I shift, if I shift click right, yeah, shift would probably do it. So that was the end of that story back then in November. That was just, they were happy and they were there. That was it. That was the extent of it. And then later in early December, the Freedom Party went to Moscow, and they actually signed a cooperation agreement with the, what's the party name? United Russia? Or something like that, the government party, I think. Yeah, right? I'm not sure. Whatever. So they signed a cooperation agreement with them. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Look it up. But they signed a cooperation agreement with a Russian party, which is really weird because I've never heard of that. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like I knew that, especially on the right, they always like there's always like a little bit of a cooperation type deal going on, at least in Europe, with Marie Le Pen in France and the what's his name? Wilders? Is that his name? I'm not sure. But yeah, the right-wing populists usually they meet and they agree and they. It's so weird. It's so weird because they are nationalists, so they want to leave EU and they don't want to have don't want to have to deal with anyone from another country basically, and then they have international cooperation. It's just weird. It's bizarre really, but whatever. That's not really the point. So yeah, they did sign this cooperation agreement thing in Russia, and then they boasted about that. Like I don't know, they were happy about having signed that agreement, and then Strache, the head of the party, posted on Facebook that they met with Mike Flynn when they were at Trump Tower on election day, that they talked with him, or to him at least, which is really like that. I mean, now in hindsight, with the Russia connection being so obvious with Flynn, and then the Freedom Party first meeting Flynn, and then with the Russia agreement thing, that's so weird. It's probably all connected. The interesting part, though, is that Flynn actually denied meeting them. He said he disavowed them. He basically said he doesn't want to deal, or he doesn't want to be associated with like right-wing populists, which is really funny considering who he's working with and for in the administration at that point already. Well, I mean, it wasn't the administration yet. I guess he was just the president elected at that point. It was at the end of December. It was around Christmas, I think, that story came out. And I just thought it was really interesting at the time that story went out. Even it's probably no one really talked about that in the States, but it was a story here because the question was who's the liar basically. Either Strache lied about them, he didn't, they clarified later that Strache himself wasn't there at that point. It was just Kunasek and I don't know who else, the Syrian leader, whatever, and then a few other people. But Strache was already gone because he had to be in Austria for something else at that point. I don't know. But yeah, Flynn denied meeting them. Basically, he was offended that the media even suggested that might have happened. And I don't know. Looking back, I did think that Flynn was lying at the time because it didn't seem like something why would they lie about something like that? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't really gain them anything. It's not like they just said that they met and talked. There was no that doesn't give them anything really. And there were pictures of them being there. They were at Trump Tower. There's, I don't know. And maybe it wasn't like an official meeting. Maybe they didn't. But I don't know. I think I'm leaning towards believing them, and I did lean towards believing that they met him. And now with the with the whole treason thing and Flynn, I don't know. He probably didn't tell the truth back then either, which is it's interesting. And there's the Russia connection again. It's really weird how all of that seems to be maybe not connected directly, but there's just these, they talk to Flynn and then they go to Russia and they sign an agreement there, and then word comes out that Flynn might have betrayed his country. I don't know. Very, very interesting people working in politics nowadays, I guess. Ah, man. And there's so much crazy stuff still with the whole Trump administration. It's crazy. It really is. Spicer is crazy, and what's that other guy's name? The one who was on the morning shows. I mean, wow. lots of insane stuff happening. And that was just one that I thought was worth bringing up, basically because of the Austria connection, and because it's probably something that not a lot of people are aware of. Because yeah, Austria doesn't, like, it doesn't matter. I don't think but probably it wasn't even like not even like a little story. That was probably a no story at all in the States. The whole, did he meet or did he not meet with Strache and friends? But I thought it was interesting and worth bringing up. I don't know if I like this. I think I need to see more still, and that's not good, because that means if I don't like it, it's going to be a lot of work getting rid of it again. I don't know if I like these. I think the logs are okay on the side here on the wall, but here in the middle it's too massive. Like it doesn't look right. But I don't know what I could use instead. And there's no good way to, like, I could make them 3 wide, which would only leave a 2-block gap, but I don't know, I don't think that would be much better either. I mean, I have some experience with building shelves from the Advent Calendar map, where I built the whole box push puzzle thing, and I had shelves there as decoration. Lots of them. And they always looked weird until I filled them. Like once there's stuff on the shelves, it always looked much better. But here the issue is that I only have the barrels, the casks. There's nothing else I can put on there really. There's no other item I can place like that would make sense. So I'm not sure if it's gonna look good, because it's gonna be very monotonous, and that might not be the best look. In other news, more recent news, PewDiePie got into trouble. And I'm not into YouTube drama at all, but this has been a really big story, comparatively speaking, like mainstream media wise. And it's an interesting story as well, because it's not really like a black and white kind of deal, where, so if you're unaware, which you're probably not, but you might be, so I'll rehash it quickly. PewDiePie was with Maker, which is owned by Disney, and like that's his MCN, his multi-channel network thing. But they dropped him because the Wall Street Journal, I think it was, broke a story about how he might be racist. And they had some video evidence, basically. They cut some pieces out of some of his videos, and that didn't make him look good at all. And obviously it's just out of context stuff, but even still, that did not, I get the argument that, it's out of context and humor and satire and blah blah blah, all of that, sure, but that stuff really did not look good. And even with context, it did not get much better, at least some of it. And so yeah, I mean, that's, yeah. And there's also always the argument that, free speech, that's always a big argument. And it's an interesting question as well. I mean, I don't think there are a lot of people who are just, in general, against free speech. I think free speech is something that we all appreciate, to an extent at least. There are people who only really want that to be applied to them and not to people who disagree with them, which obviously is not how that works and can't be how that works. But there's also always the interesting question if there is or if there should be a limit to what free speech covers. Because I mean, I think I don't really want to argue here about anything. I don't want to. I don't feel like arguing my opinion or any opinion really here. But I think I can confidently say that it definitely can be argued that there is stuff that should not be said, and there's stuff that is beyond what free speech allows you to say, and yeah. And I mean, you can look at it very simplistic. Even like at least in America, there are a few words which you just can't say, right? I can think of at least 2 words which will pretty much universally get you in trouble in the States. one starts with a C and one starts with an N, and you cannot say these words. There's other words like curse words in America are like, it's a weird. You have a weird relationship with cursing. But these two words seem to like be. It just get you in trouble. There's no way they don't, basically. And then you could argue, free speech. Why can you not? Why should you not be allowed to say these words? And I mean, there's a point to that, to an extent, of course. But the fact that remains, I think, is that while it may be okay to say some stuff or have certain opinions, and maybe I'm not saying about like PewDiePie. I don't think he's racist. I don't know him at all, really. I've never really watched him. I just don't. I don't care for his style of video at all. So I don't like. I can't claim to know him. And even people who do watch him, I don't think you can say with any kind of certainty that, oh no, he can't be racist or he can't be this or that because I watch his videos and I can tell. I don't think that's how it works, because the YouTube thing. I'm not saying everyone is fake. I'm not saying I'm fake, but you don't get to see the whole picture. You don't get to see the whole me. You just get this like little glimpse, this little persona thing that I do on YouTube, and that's not it's not fake. I'm not pretending to be someone else for the sake of the videos. But it can never be 100% me. There's always stuff I'm not, like personal stuff. Just you don't know anything about my personal life, really. Even if you've watched all my videos, there's very, very little you know about me on a personal level. And so I don't think you can really judge a person based on that. And there's lots of people in media who are really awful people, and you can't tell from their public appearances, because that's just, that's just not how this business works. There's just the stuff you can and, stuff you cannot do on camera or in public, and especially, actors and stuff like that, people, who are in the public eye, they know exactly how to play that game, and they know exactly what they can get away with and what they can't get away with, and they know exactly what to say to keep all their, sponsorship deals intact and all that kind of stuff. So you can never really tell what the person really believes. So I think that's something to keep in mind for sure. But yeah, as I said, I don't necessarily think I don't think PewDiePie is racist or, a Nazi sympathizer or I don't know anything like that. I don't feel like, for my very limited knowledge about PewDiePie, I don't think that's the case, but I am not confident. Like I wouldn't guarantee it. I wouldn't swear by it, because I can't, because I don't know him. And the fact is that he did do some questionable stuff, and maybe Disney overreacted, but they have to protect their brand. And while free speech, is an argument, there's also the argument that Disney doesn't owe PewDiePie anything. They work together, and they decided they didn't want to work with him anymore, and that's that. And that's their choice as well. Like, I don't, you can't really, like, it's not like he's poor and on the streets now and he's losing his livelihood or anything. He's rich, he's fine, and you can't force Disney to do what you want. If they don't want to work with him, they don't want to work with him, and that's that. And then there's also always the possibility, this thing happened now, and then he got, released from his contract. But you never know, maybe there was other stuff, maybe there was behind the scenes stuff, maybe there were other disagreements, creative or otherwise, maybe they just weren't happy with, maybe there was, maybe they talked to him before. You don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying there's no way to know. You don't really, Disney doesn't give like an official statement like that, and obviously PewDiePie has no interest in putting out something like that. You only really have his side of the story, and And I just don't really feel like, you know, a lot of his, like, maybe it's humor, but then, I mean, where's the line? Like, this is a very interesting subject. The whole political correctness thing and the pushback against that as well is very, very interesting, because it's really hard to, you know, define like any kind of line there and say this is here and this is there. It's always a gray area. It's really hard to, you know, have a good grasp of that issue, because obviously, you know, satire has to be allowed to do pretty much anything, but then at the same time, like, okay, so just if you didn't see the one video where he paid that weird company to have those two guys hold up the sign with that more than questionable message, like, where's the humor in that, really? That's not like, there's no punchline. Where's the joke? You just paid them and they did it. And while I don't think that's necessarily, like, it obviously does not prove that he's a racist, but like, how is that humor either? Like, I don't know. It's a very weird topic. And the political correctness thing, I mean, there's definitely stuff that goes overboard there in that area. But that's always the case. I don't think you can really, like, I don't think political correctness in and of itself is necessarily bad. There's, you know, I think, you know, being inclusive and not using language that discriminates is not, you know, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad cause. But obviously there have to be like limits to that. You can overdo it, and also like the whole, you know, witch hunt mentality behind that is ridiculous. But the entire, like, you can't condemn the entire movement. The same thing is always true with feminism. Feminism in and of itself is definitely not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Or the whole, everything that has to do with equality, and there are always idiots on either side of these arguments, and it just doesn't make sense to just throw everyone on that one side. Like, it's, if this is the middle, and then there's, I thought I heard a footstep. I'm scared there. Then you have most of the people on this side of the argument are here, and most of the people on this side of the argument are here, and then you have, like, way out there are some people there, and way out there you have some people on this side of the argument, and everyone on this side of the argument puts everyone on this side of the argument over there in that corner, and the other way around, and it's just stupid. It's just really stupid. Because yes, there are some idiots on the pro-feminism side, but yes, there are also really, really big idiots on the other side of that, and it doesn't make sense to just see those extremes and talk about the other side. And the same is true for politics. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. That's the message here. It doesn't make sense. And also the political correctness thing. Obviously, or maybe not obviously, but I think that speech, the way you talk, the way you phrase things, that matters. That can be, you know, you can't discriminate someone just like that, and it's not the worst thing. Obviously, it's the same with symbols. Like there was the whole debate about the Confederate flag in the South. Obviously, the flag didn't do anything. The flag doesn't do anything. The flag is just a flag. It's just a piece of cloth with some, you know, paint on it. There's nothing. Like it doesn't do anything. The flag is not racist, but it's a symbol for something, and that something is racist. And obviously, you know, getting rid of the flag is not going to fix racism. But if you're not even going to take that step to remove that stupid flag, that doesn't mean anything to you either, because it's just a flag. I mean, get over it. Symbols change over time, and you don't have to hold on to old symbols. It doesn't make sense. But if you're not even willing to do that, then what does this say about your willingness to really, really, step up against racism, against inequality? If you're not even gonna remove a flag, like, and that's why symbols matter. That's why language matters. Because if you're not even gonna make that little adjustment, then how can you expect people to believe that you are actually in favor of everyone being treated the same, everyone being treated equal? Not the same, equal. There's a difference, I guess. So yeah. So PewDiePie got in trouble, and I do think that he has to be smarter there, because I don't think he really made fun of like racism or Nazis or anything like that. He just used symbolism like that, and he didn't really. It's very easy. Maybe I'm misunderstanding his videos, but the stuff that I saw, and I did go back and watch more of those videos, not just the clips that got cut out. It's not really clear, and he has a huge following, and I think it's important, and you have a responsibility, whether you want it or not. If you have an audience that big, if you make that much money, if you have that much influence, you have a lot of responsibility, and you have to be careful with what you say and what you do, and how it can be interpreted. And also, I think he should have apologized. He didn't really apologize, did he? He just said that it wasn't meant like that, and it's not his fault, basically, which is really weak. He just like especially the sign thing. That was just really bad taste. He could have just apologized for that, I think. Whether it's funny or not, or humor or not, I don't even care. But that's something that, in hindsight, I don't think he should have even published that, to be honest. But he should at least apologize, because that it's just not that stuff. You just it all goes back to the whole humor, political correctness thing. Just because you get offended doesn't mean that something is offensive, and you can always avoid stuff like that. That's all true. All of that is true. But there have to be limits to what you can and cannot say or do or show in media like YouTube. Because not everything can be covered by free speech, or And for example, I mean, he did dress up as a Nazi in one of those videos. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. I don't know how that law really works. But in Austria there's a law against. It's called Wiederbetätigung, which is hard to translate. But basically, you cannot defend or. You cannot defend or represent in a positive light Hitler and the Nazis and stuff like that. It's illegal. You're not. And it's not just about like the swastika and stuff like that. That's also not allowed. But it's not just about that. For example, there was a guy he's been arrested. He dressed up as Hitler in Braunau, which is the birthplace of Hitler. And he posed for pictures and stuff there, and he got arrested. Like I don't think he did anything. I don't think he said anything, or I don't know. Maybe he did, but just the fact that he dressed up and thereby kind of glorified, or he got arrested, and he's facing, I think it's 1 to 10 years in jail for that. And with that law, that has always, whenever that comes up somewhere, it's always free speech. But I don't think that's a bad law to have. It's illegal to deny the Holocaust here. You go to jail if you deny that happened, and I think that's positive. And as always, you don't have to agree with me on everything, and always open for debate if it's informed and educated. I'm not sure about these shelves yet. I'm really not. That's so bad. But yeah, we can rotate them, so it's not a big deal. But the thing, oh wow, that's an issue. Well, I can rotate it sideways, I guess. Shift right click. Because if I rotate it like this now, then I see the backside here, and I see the backside the air. So I always have to have them back to back, basically, which is kind of annoying. I could rotate them sideways, but that's not perfect either. That would mean I always have to brace them back to back here. Because I was thinking about leaving gaps to make it more interesting, make it less even, but I'm not sure if we'll do that or not. Even here I can still see it when I walk by. It's so weird that texture is broken. But yeah, okay, that's it for today. Not a lot of building, but yeah, I'm still working on this. I'm also working on the server though and other stuff, so bear with me. But this will be finished at some point here. I have an idea for the roof as well. I think it's gonna be much better. And I have designed or tried to design the whole pergola roof thing a few more times, so I think I have a grasp of the concept and the issues with that now. So I should be able to pull it off soon. I have most of the materials, I think, so it should be fine. And I'm kind of happy. Like the stills, I wasn't happy at first, but I feel like now that they've been here a while, I think they're okay. They're a little bit too big for the room, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be close enough. It's Minecraft anyway. You have to always compromise. You have to always, approximate stuff. You can't do exact stuff unless you build at a huge scale. Then maybe. And this is already pretty big. All right, so that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you have any ideas for the shelves or the stills or the roof or anything, or if you just want to talk politics, or if you just had enough of politics, just leave a comment, let me know. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Oh yeah, and I guess I should repeat it here once more. If you've like the server, the Life in the Woods server it's not super public, but it's kind of public. So if you want, and if you think you fit in, just let me know. You can tweet me or on the Discord or in a comment or a YouTube message or a Twitter message. Actually, can you message me on Twitter? Yeah, I think you can. And we can talk about that. So yeah, we're still looking for people. People I know obviously have it easier. With people I don't know, complete strangers, we have to talk about it a bit, and then might have to do a probation thing, because I don't want to deal with drama. I don't want to deal with people fighting over stupid stuff in the game. So yeah, if you think you're capable of being a mature human being, then I'm sure there won't be a problem, and you can enjoy playing on the server with us. That's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.